What is the sleepiest dinosaur? The Stegosaurus. Welcome to the stream. Happy Wednesday, my friends. Happy Wednesday. Very happy to have you here. Lucid Jelly first in chat with the fiery emotes, and Sir Ravenheim close behind. Very happy to have both of you here. I hope you're doing well, my friends, and I'm glad to see you're excited about the Commodore. I'm really excited for the Commodore. That's not on original hardware, I must confess, unlike most things that I do. The Commodore 64, we're actually playing on the C64 Mini, but it's a close approximation. And we're going to have a lot of fun with that, I think. I'm going to do a couple runs through Super C first. I need to stay in fighting shape with my challenge run. But I plan to probably only do about 2 passes through the game, unless I'm really on fire and like really close to the run on both of them. I don't expect I'll go for a third, but I like to do 2 passes through, and yeah, keep my practice up. And who knows, maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe it'll be a... Sorry about hitting the mic. Maybe it'll be a night of victories. Maybe tonight will be the night. So we got about an hour and a half of Super C, and then the whole rest of the stream's going to be some random stuff on the C64. The only thing that I know for sure that I'm going to do on it tonight is a game called Dino Eggs, which is a game I had as a child, and I completely forgot about it until today. And so I'm going to be really excited to take a look at it. I don't know that I ever really understood it when I was a kid. Well, a bit. But we'll get to those. C64, ZX Spectrum, SNES, GameCube, GBA, PS1, PS2. Don't hear anything. You were on mute. Okay, thank goodness. I do mute myself sometimes. So that's a list of consoles you had growing up. I had about half of those. I've never interacted with a Spectrum. PS1 and 2 I didn't have. I had friends who had them. The others I had and have fond memories of each. 2600 I had, but not really. Don't have a lot of fond memories for. I've just played it. I played it more as an adult than I remember ever playing it as a child. I know we had one, but I just don't remember much about it. I don't think I got a whole lot of use out of it. Sorry, I'm fishing my controller out of a mess of wires here. And 7800 I've never interacted with in person. Dreamcast I have, but I only ever had one game for it, and it doesn't work anymore. The only game I've ever owned for the Dreamcast is The Typing of the Dead, and my disc appears to have gone bad. It doesn't work, so I'm going to need to replace it. I want to do some Dreamcast stuff on the stream. I do hear that it is very easy to get a hold of Dreamcast games. So I may have to investigate that. But I haven't gotten around to it yet. People still make games. I know that. I did actually know that. I've seen every now and then I see someone talking about one of them. That's so wild. People who love the Dreamcast really love the Dreamcast, and again, it's just something I missed out on. I had one friend who had one. But it kind of got, my friend who had the Dreamcast, it kind of got overshadowed when he got the PS2. So we didn't actually spend a lot of time with the Dreamcast. The Genesis controller is evil? Why do you say that? I think the Genesis controller, the 3 in a line buttons, I don't like that. If I played... So, like, I know some people hold a controller where they play with their fingers on the buttons. And if I played like that, I would probably really like the Genesis controller. You can set the controller on your thigh for support. You can work the D-pad with your thumb and the buttons with your finger. I've seen people who play like that. And if you play like that you probably really like the Genesis controller because the buttons are big and then they're in a line for your fingers and it's kind of like an arcade, but I play with my thumbs, so it doesn't do anything for me. Isn't that mostly speedrunners? Yeah, that's mostly high-level play, yeah. You're not going to see that kind of play out of me. All right, I'm going to try and start I'm going to try and start up our first attempt of the night. We might lean on the reset button a little bit. I'm feeling like if I die on the first 3 stages, I might reset. If I die or make a mistake on stage 1, 2, or 3, but if something bad happens on 4 or beyond, we'll just keep going, because 4 is still such a roadblock for me anyway. It's a hard game. But it's such a fun game. I was hanging out in I was hanging out in a stream on YouTube earlier today, one of Mazen's streams, and he was talking about he was kind of talking about like he doesn't know what to play on his stream, and he's sort of thinking out loud and asking for suggestions from his chat. And he said he was making a joke, but he was also very serious. He was saying I don't want to become a variety streamer. He said I think that variety streams are the worst thing. A variety streamer is the worst thing you could be. And so I was in the chat and I was like, ouch, I felt that. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, am I a variety streamer? I play an awful lot of Contra to call myself a variety streamer. Going for a slower helicopter here. NCK, good to see you again. Thank you for joining us. What's up, Agent Frownie? Just practicing the old challenge run. And make a couple passes through Contra tonight. My name makes you think of brownies. You're not the only one. I believe there is a streamer called Agent Brownie. I don't know if they're active. I think there's an account by that name. My screen name comes from a sort of nickname that I ended up with in high school. Agent Frownie was a character. I used to draw these little comic strips about my best friend in high school because my friend, he was this guy. He was always having like kind of bad luck and really like, you know, sort of benign and amusing ways. My best way to describe him is that I like to say that he was the kind of guy that anytime he dropped a piece of toast, it would always land butter side down. But I used to draw these little comic books, and Agent Frownie was this character, this frowny face with arms that would that was kind of like a ghost that would fly around and cause my friend to have bad luck. They had kind of a Tom and Jerry relationship, and just kind of over time, the joke became that I was the real Agent Frownie. Mostly because I would always tell bad jokes, like the ones at the start of my stream, that would annoy my friend. So even though Agent Frownie is a frowny face, he's not actually called Agent Frownie because he's sad. He's called Agent Frownie because he made my friend frown. I've got fruit and I've got cheese tonight. I'm so excited. I keep talking about cheese on the stream. I've got some little, I guess little blocks of cheese. They go with my coffee and my fruit. I've got a whole feast. So I'm going to be keeping my energy high for all of that, all that nonsense that we encounter on the C64. I was feeling pretty trapped there. I don't know what I was doing. I was facing the wrong way. I think I was worried that a regular enemy was going to sneak up on me. When this guy goes, when this guy dies, his projectiles go away as well, even if he's already fired them. That's awfully convenient. I guess if he hadn't fired them yet, you wouldn't be able to tell if they went away. This part here, I still get fooled by this part. A lot. I do sometimes regret my decision to lock the later games in the series behind these challenge runs. I will admit. There are times when I just think, man, I'd really like to try out some Contra games that I haven't played. Sometimes it feels like I'm never going to make it. There's the first 3 stages, though. You see, I said I should be able to make it through the first 3 stages, and I can. Stage 4 is where things usually fall apart, though. That whole elevator section and the boss. And the boss gives me more trouble than I think he deserves to. The boss is way harder for me than it should be. The boss, everything about the boss, like, on paper says it should be easy because it moves in a predictable way, it's got a reliable strategy to beat it. I think it's my own impatience that kills me at the boss more than anything. Which is weird because I'm usually a tremendously patient player. Whoa. Oh no, I'm dead. Yep. Rip. Run destroyed. Like I said, though, we're not gonna reset from stage 4 and beyond because death was likely. I don't know if it's possible to dance between those lasers when you're caught in the wrong spot. It might be. Such a narrow window. I doubt it. Might be possible for a better player than I. So that's 2 deaths. What an ugly maze of bullets I found myself in. I guess that's the whole game, really, though. I've had like an unusual amount of bad luck with these boulders lately, I feel like. I think I died to one of those boulders during Monday's practice. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember if one of those boulders was giving me trouble or if I just dreamed it. I think I had a dream I was playing this game. Now I don't know. I don't know what's real and what isn't. Boulders alone look so hard to you. It's a tough game. I've had trouble at one point or another with just about everything in the game, I think. And not just early on. Even after all these hours, I still have trouble. That boss is tough. That boss is probably the toughest boss in the game. I can frequently finish stage 5 without losing a life, but the boss is super hard. For all of the game's, like, difficulty, though, like, in general, Contra and Super C bosses just... They're really not... Overall, they're really not that hard, most of them. Almost all of them are super cheesable. Running from bullets is generally not a great idea, but I end up doing it so very frequently. I'm lucky I don't die more often than I do. So yeah, the last 3 bosses are just a matter of stand in a particular position and just wail on them. You have to move around a little bit during the stage 7 boss, but even that one's nothing to worry about. Is this on NES? Yeah, this is on NES. There were 2... There are allegedly 3 Contra games on the NES. There's Contra, there's Super C, and there's Contra Force. But Contra Force isn't a Contra game. It's a game. It's a completely separate game that they just renamed Contra for marketing purposes. And it's super expensive and terrible. So there are really two Contra games on the NES. And this is my preferred one of the two. I think most people like the original Contra better. I feel like fewer people have played this one. So, like, while a lot of people like the first one better, I think a lot of people like it better by default. But I like this one better. I like Super C better than Contra. They're very, very similar, though. Takes forever. It takes forever for me to dig my way through there. Ah. Sorry. Sorry, I have to scream sometimes. My goodness. The scorpions. They're the worst thing ever. Here's a tip for everyone who hasn't played this game. Don't walk all the way over to the right. There's a glitch. There's some sort of glitch on the floor on the right-hand side. If you walk too far over there, you'll die for no reason. I don't think it happens all the time, but it happens often enough that I'm afraid of that right-hand corner. It's like in Ghosts and Goblins on stage 3. As you approach the boss of stage 3, there's a part where, I don't know, there's a glitch or something where Arthur would just stub his toe on a pixel and you'll die. It's very irritating when it happens. Okay, I don't think we died on stage 6 or 7, right? I honestly don't remember, so if I did die and forget, sorry for giving myself props I don't deserve. I think we're at 3 deaths right now, though. 2 on 4 and 1 on 5. Whoa, I thought I was dead. The game was really coming for me. Okay, I think that's it. I don't think there are any power-ups left, so I don't think I have to worry about accidentally spawning a power-up. I do have to worry about dying. I die here a lot. I have made it through here without dying a few times, but it feels like I die here more often than not. I don't have a good set of strategies for approaching this area. I have a lot of pray and cry. Okay, don't think the ceiling's gonna drop again. Hey, nice, we made it through. That's a rare treat. I always want to stay real far away from this boss while it's climbing up out of the ground, because it can kill you while it's rising up. You can stand right up against it after it's fully emerged, but while it's coming up it can still kill you. I don't know about when it's sinking. I don't ever want to risk it. All right, that's a pretty good run. That's a pretty nice 1cc there. A little ugly in the middle, of course, but stage 1 through 3 were good. Stage 6 through 8 were good. Just a little ugliness at the stage 4 and 5 bosses. That's not bad. Let's have a little celebratory snack. Congrats, thank you. Thank you, my friend. I love this sunset at the end of the game. All right, well, there's one run. Let's reset. Let's see if we can do another one. Maybe we can even do it a little better. I don't know. That's going to be hard to beat. That's probably the best. That's probably the best run of the night. But you never know. We'll give it another try. Any run could be the run. How long does it take me to beat the game? About 20 minutes. 20, 25 minutes, somewhere in there, typically. I do Contra reliably in 20 minutes, and this one's a little longer. I run the timer when I'm still on track for the deathless run, and that's really I'm not really concerned about the time. It's kind of a curiosity because it is interesting to see, I guess, how long it takes, but I'm not really concerned with doing it fast. As long as I don't die, I don't care if I spend an hour on a stage, basically. But there's something about having the timer running that, like, puts me in the right mindset, too. Because earlier, like, when I was first doing the challenge runs for some of the games I was doing, I would pause and, you know, stop to read, you know, to read things in the chat and to like do channel point redemptions and stuff like that. And I don't really like having those breaks in the challenge runs. So running the timer kind of sets the right tone that, like, we don't want to interrupt the game at the moment. Not that I don't want people to chat with me. I do want people to chat with me. But it sort of keeps me in the right headspace of, like, not stepping away from the game until the timer stops. Oh my goodness. You know, I've said lots of times that, like, if someone puts a message in the chat and I read it and I die because I was distracted, that's my fault for reading it. It's not someone's fault for typing. And I'd definitely rather have I'd rather have people here chatting with me and be distracted and have the run take a little longer than to be all by myself. I might would get these challenges done with fewer attempts, but I'd have a whole lot less fun. No, speaking of less fun, it's less fun when you ruin it. Dead. But we're only on stage 2, so we'll reset. I take the strictest interpretation of no items. No items means I don't even want to see an item. That cannon can't actually fire. I've never seen it fire anyway, and it certainly hangs around long enough that it should if it could. The like the world record speed runs for this in Contra. Well, I'm not sure about this, but I'm pretty sure about it. That well, I know for Contra it's less than 10 minutes, and like well under 10 minutes, and at least I think that's right. And it's probably really close for this game as well, since they're so similar. So my time to pass through the game is about like a world record speedrunner could beat the game twice in the time it takes me to beat it once. With time for a little break in between. No, I made the same mistake. Look at that. That same spread gun. Ruining my dreams. I've actually grown a lot more cautious in the way that I do stage 2 than I used to. There's a lot of places where I sort of hang back and very carefully take out the red enemies, where previously I would just kind of boldly run through their bullets. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get that confidence back. Nice. That might be the fastest I've ever done the helicopter. That was good. That was real good. I don't usually get it before it flies off the screen. I think there ought to be a category for 100% accuracy. A speedrunning category. There, you have to play Contra and Super C without a single... None of your bullets can miss a target. Every bullet has to land on an enemy. That would be the worst. It would be the worst category imaginable. Alright, I'm gonna try and... Let me try and be bold here. See, that's how I used to fight those guys, instead of peeking around the tank like I've been doing lately. Okay, get the guy on the left first. There we go. The gap is just wide enough you can go between their bullets, but... Oh, it's so scary. That was bad. Watch out for the flying footballs. I know. I got in a tight spot there. Those 3 bullets closing in. The first run. Very first attempt, very first run was so good. Now I'm having trouble getting a second one off the ground. I feel like that's always the way it goes, isn't it? I do really well, and then I fall into this kind of like reset quagmire. And then eventually I usually pull myself out of it, and we start to have good runs again. But when we're here in between, when we're here like lost in the valley between good runs, it's a sad place to be. There's a lot of power-ups on stage 1 in this game. I don't think it's gonna come to this, but if we hit the hour-and-a-half mark and I'm still resetting stage 1 and 2, we will just move on to the next thing. We're gonna be back on a roll here any moment now, but just in case, just in case. I will go ahead and make that proclamation. That green guy ruined my chances at a fast helicopter. I blame him. Certainly not me. Really slow helicopter. Took forever. Some say that Frownie is still fighting that helicopter even yet today. Whoa! I didn't even see that bullet. I missed it completely by luck. All right, let's be risky again. Because it's a lot of fun when it goes well, right? When you die, it's miserable, but when you make it through those guys, it feels real good once you're on the other side. Whoa. Nice, one up. That last guy who stands in front of the gate, he's not usually there. He despawns more often than he spawns. I'm surprised he hasn't been fired for too many days not showing up for work. Hey, we made it out of level 2. Come on, level 3. Ooh, that was ugly. Whole situation's real ugly. Stand way back here where it's safe. There should have been a beach level. I'd like another snow level. There's a snow level in the first Contra. I like this spider boss a lot. This is probably my second favorite boss in this game. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool how you have to hide from it on top of its head. I mean, you don't have to fight it like this. You could jump around the bullets, but I think that's the way you're intended to fight it, is by hiding out on top of its head. And it's just kind of interesting that's where the safe spot is on top of the boss. It's a neat idea. Uh-oh. Whoa! Another super close call. I'm always just barely surviving. Alright, we made it 3 levels, so this run, we see it through to the end, regardless of what happens. Even if I die to the first enemy on stage 4, we're no more reset. Contra games always had such great combat. Yeah, I really like it. I really like, it's fast-paced and it's challenging, but, like, your character is, like, there's a ton of bullets and projectiles and stuff on the screen, but your character is agile enough and quick enough that when you're really, like, locked in and in the zone, you can dodge surprises, and that's nice. It has a real good feel to it, and I like games that aren't like that too. Like, I like Castlevania quite a bit, but it's Castlevania, you're not equipped to respond to surprises. And something unexpected happens in Castlevania, it almost always means you're going to take damage. But I mean, you have more hits in that game too, so Super Ghouls and Ghosts is kind of in between. In a way, your character is more restricted, but once you master the double jump, your character also has a lot of freedom and responsiveness. Impressive they were able to make it so fluid on the NES. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how the NES version compares to the arcade versions either. Like, maybe I'm really missing out by not playing the arcade versions. I kind of suspect not, though. There's a real powerful risk of spawning one of those, that power-up on the right there. Because you have to be firing. You have to be firing to take out that gun. You don't want to... You don't want to have to be messing with the gun. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. Can I be careful and smart and do a good job? That's asking a lot of me. If it weren't a low percent run, I would have a power up and I'd be able to create a hold in the middle of the boss like much earlier and work like both ways out, but it looks like you have Super C memorized. I know some of the stuff in the elevator. I don't know the positioning of all the bubbles. I have a general idea of about the time when they start to come in, but then I'm just reacting to them. But the turrets, like pretty much all of the guns in that level, I know where their general positioning is, so I can anticipate them. I don't like this. I can't reach that, and I've got this guy. No, I spawned a power up. Run dead. Oh, I might as well have lost a life. That's sickening. All because I was stuck on that platform and too scared to get off. Alright, there's a proper death. I don't know what I could have done about that situation other than just not get myself into it in the first place. Alright, 1 power up, 1 death. This place here is just awful. This is the worst. This is the worst place to be in any video game. No. Oh, second death. Alright, this run is now as bad as the other one. I was thinking this run had the potential to be better than our other one, but 2 deaths and a power-up. That's 3 errors. Excuse me. I live in Wisconsin. I'm not originally from here, but I've lived here the past several years. I grew up in Kentucky. I was born in Italy, and then I grew up in Kentucky, and I've lived in Thailand, Tennessee, Texas, South Korea, and Wisconsin. Not in that order. I moved around a lot. And those are all places that I've lived, like... I've moved around a lot as an adult. With a list like that, people might think that, like, that I was like a military kid or something. Which my parents were both in the army, but they both got out before I was born. No, I've just moved around a lot. I lived in Thailand during college. I went there for a term for a study abroad. I lived there for 6 or 7 months. And Korea, I worked there as an English teacher for a couple years. Another death. That's sad. The scorpions are a formidable foe. It's not surprising to me that I died to them, but it is sad that I died to them because I feel like I've been getting a lot better at the scorpions. The past like 3 runs I think that have made it this far, I've survived the scorpions up until now. So it's a real shame to break that streak. Because they're one of the things that I was most afraid of in the game. So see, I have cleared every level. I have cleared every level deathless in isolation. If you took my VODs, you could stitch together a couple different deathless runs. If you wanted to create an artificial one from my footage, it would be possible. So I know I can do it. I know we can have the deathless run, but it's hard to do that well for that long. You've been learning Chinese. I was thinking about either teaching Chinese in America or teaching English in Taiwan. I don't know much about Taiwan, so I don't know what living there is like, but I had a lot of fun living overseas. Oh yeah, I had a lot of good times in Korea. Had a lot of good friends. And it was good work. It was a lot of work. We didn't have a lot of we didn't get a lot of days off. But that was okay. Yeah, it can be pretty, the work culture can be pretty intense. It wasn't like it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad for us in like the teaching field as, you know, like if we were in like some sort of like I don't know, business or something like that, like some other sort of business profession. We didn't work like nearly the way that like some of those people over there do, but it was a lot more than you might be used to in the States. That's for sure. Itarama, great to see you, Itty. Welcome to the stream. How's the sea? Is it super? The sea is all right. It's better than mediocre. I mean, I guess the sea is always super. My gameplay isn't always. We had two pretty good 1CCs. First one, I had 3 deaths. I cleared it. I died twice to the stage 4 boss and once to the stage 5 boss. But we had a flawless 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8. And that was the second run that made it to the end. That one was less good. I think I had 4 deaths, and I spawned a power up. Ugly run. But I'm feeling good because like my deaths were kind of clumped together again, both times. So I'm feeling really good about my chances of making it through this game. With a deathless run. Derek Ocean, welcome in. Glad to see you. Hope you're doing well today. So I said I was going to do 2 runs. I was going to spend about an hour to an hour and a half. It's been both of those things. We finished 2 runs. We're not quite at the half an hour mark, but we're really close. So the hour and a half mark, but we're really close. So I think it's time to switch over to the Commodore, and we're going to play some Commodore games. I hope Sparrow shows up because I know that he was really excited for some Commodore stuff on the stream, but I haven't seen him tonight. And he's kind of the reason I can play Commodore games on the stream. He's the one that funded the C64 Mini. But yeah, we're gonna get switched over. This is gonna be a little bit of a clunky process. I've got to do it live here. I've got to switch capture cards and adjust some of my video settings. So it'll be a little bit of sausage making here while I move stuff around. Can that fit in there? It can. Nice. So thank you for enjoying Super C with me, my friends. We're getting so close to this low percent deathless. We're gonna play it again tomorrow night. Super C at the top of the stream, and we might go for more runs than tonight. I might try it 3 or 4 times because I feel like I'm getting close. So if we have runs tomorrow that are as good as the ones tonight, then we might grind it to make it happen. We're also going to be playing Pikmin 2 though, and I've got to make sure to leave time for that. So we'll see. But I think there's a good chance tomorrow night might be the night for this. But yeah, let's move over to the Commodore. Okay, this is going to involve a lot of a lot of pulling and trading out USB devices, so weird things might happen with the audio and video. Okay, it looks like I still have my mic. Conga Line Monkey. Hey, great to see you, Conga. Yeah, we're finally doing more C64. It's long overdue. It's long overdue. I should have never taken so long in between C64 sessions. Just realized I forgot to turn off the NES. Okay. Boat Ladder, welcome in. There we go. Looking good. That looks like C64 to me. Now, can we get audio? I don't even know if there is audio right now. Oh, I heard something squeak. All right, this is a game called Dino Eggs. This is another C64 game. Oh, so hang on. Let me. I need to cut my recording here.